Hello, I am Jacques Halbronn. We are in Paris. The time is 15th of November 2014. It's about 2 a.m. and I would like to give you a new lecture on French astrology as usual. And of course I would like to insist on the new developments which occur in my research, especially concerning the 7-year cycle. I have returned to the idea of dividing the 7-year cycle in 4 parts, which means dividing 90 degrees by 4, which gives 4 parts of 22 degrees and a half. And therefore I identify the conjunction of Saturn with one of the 4 royal fixed stars with the equinox of spring, the vernal equinox, as opposed to the disjunction which occurs 45 degrees later, which is the equinox of autumn or fall. You have this line here, equinox of spring, equinox of fall, conjunction, disjunction, and there are 45 degrees between these two positions opposite in the system of 90 degrees. I refer to you to the Halbronn system in Germany. And as I said in other occurrences, the interest of the system, it makes it very ergonomic, is that these 90 degrees correspond to 84 months. 7 multiplied by 12 gives 84 months. So you can consider that 1 degree is a month, more or less. It's a new type of direction. If I say 22 degrees for each period, each of the 4 periods, 22 degrees, you can translate in full 22 months, or roughly. This is not bad. It's easy to explain yourself. Look, we shall speak in months, which will afford us to be directly in connection with the degrees. 90 degrees correspond to around 90 months. Indeed, in 84 months, but still. Anyway, roughly it's good like that. Because I really like the idea of an astrology which you can use without consulting all the time your ephemeris, because you want to know where Uranus, Pluto, and Saturn, etc. Here you have only one cycle, which is the Saturn cycle, only 4 fixed stars which are always at the same moment, at the same place. They don't change from one conjunction to another, like you would have this result if it was a combination of 2 planets, like Saturn, Jupiter, or Saturn, Neptune, etc. And you have this principle of a month for a year, a month for a degree. 22 months, 22 degrees, 22 months, roughly. And what I don't want to be very, very long. What I want to explain here is that the solstice of winter is when the process is very, very low, very low, like I see in houses, and it is a restarting. I mean the night begins to be shorter, and the day progresses until they reach the equinox, and after the equinox the day will dominate the night. If you consider the night as being the woman and the day like being the man, you will understand that in both, when Saturn is between the disjunction and the conjunction, is under the influence of women, and when it is between the equinox, between the conjunction and the disjunction, it is on the domination of men, and it's very, very useful to know that. We can consider more. When I say men, of course I refer mainly to great men, great leaders, and they are lacking, they are missing in this period under the system, the inferior period, and they are multiplying when they are in the superior period. So now we have some people, some political leaders, and many other leaders in different fields, who have been a little static, a little lethargical in the last years, and who start again to be more active. It's probably the case of Obama. It's probably the case of the new president of the European Commission, Mr. Juncker. It is probably the return of Nicolas Sarkozy in the French political world. And we shall probably have a lot more of those leaders, because we are living a period of 45 months, which was very negative for leaders, who were giving more strength to groups, to colleges, to conventions, to conferences, to sort of global systems where there is no leader. The people dream of systems without leaders. And suddenly we pass to another period after the conjunction, or even a little before the conjunction, where leaders are the main thing. So you can check in your ephemeris, in your historical data, in what way my system works, and you will see that there are a lot of correlations which are to be collected by anybody who will look in this field. What is important is not necessarily these 2 points, conjunction when the leader appears, and the disjunction when the leader disappears. The conjunction where the women, this period is very good for women or for people who have no great power, potential as individuals, and they are have more potential as groups, as population, as people, like would say Jacques Rousseau. And here it's the period which is much more concerned by the realizations and the exploits of the leaders in every field of art, literature, economics, politics, religions, etc.